I'd like to call this village board meeting of March 4th, 2021 to order. Would the clerk please take the roll?
Village President Linda Jackson.
Present.
Trustee Schmidt. Here. Trustee Sullivan.
Here.
Trustee Light.
He's excused.
Trustee Meritato.
Here.
And Trustee Pojek.
Here.
And Trustee Schroeder.
Excused. Would you all please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Once again, I have to read this. The governor of the state of Illinois has declared a gubernatorial disaster proclamation in response to the COVID-19 outbreak, restricting individuals to gatherings of 50 persons or less. And all of the village of Glendale Heights is covered by this disaster area. In light of the ongoing COVID-19 outbreak, the village president of the village of Glendale Heights has determined that an in-person meeting for the March 4th, 2021 Village Board and Committee of the Whole meetings is not practical or prudent in light of the disaster. All of the trustees of the Village Board participating in the March 4th, 2021 Village Board meeting, wherever their physical location, shall be verified and determined that they can hear one another and can hear all discussion and testimony during the meeting. Signed by Linda Jackson, Village President of the Village of Glendale Heights, March 4th, 2021. Now we go on to community announcements. Chief Flint.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Doug.
The Glendale Heights Police Department wants to hear from you. Please take a moment and fill out our online survey, and let us know how they can better serve you. To access the survey, please visit glendaleheights.org or visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/Glendale Heights Police. The safety of the Glendale Heights residents and community is the #1 priority. If you have any questions, please contact Glendale Heights Police Department non-emergency number at 630-260-6070.
Thank you, Doug. Trustee Schmidt. You're welcome.
We can hear them.
I think you're on.
Blue light's on.
No, you're not
Turn a
on.
blue light on, Bill.
Blue light.
There you go.
Okay. Safety Town Easter egg hunt is back with new socially distant guidelines in place to ensure the health and safety of all participants. Children's age 8 and under are invited to join us on Saturday, March 27th from 8:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. for our annual Easter egg hunt. Pre-registration for a 15-minute time slot is required, and masks must be worn by all participants. For more information on additional changes to the Safety Town Easter egg hunt and to pre-register, please visit the village website at www.glendaleheights.org or contact Tanya Macco at 630-909-5459. Register today for our new socially distant breakfast from the Easter Bunny. This new event will be taking the place of our annual breakfast with the Easter Bunny so that we all can have a safe and healthy event. This drive-through event is Saturday, March 27th from 8:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. at Glendale Lakes Golf Club and features a breakfast of pancakes, sausage, syrup, and a chocolate bunny from the Easter Bunny himself. Pre-registration is required and is $3 per breakfast. For more information or to pre-register, please contact the Sports Hub at 630-260-6060. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Trustee Meritato.
Thank you, Mayor. The Village of Glendale Heights is partnering with the Northern Illinois Food Bank for food distribution event on Saturday, March 20th, from 9 a.m. to noon at Camera Park. You do not need to be a resident of Glendale Heights in order to receive assistance, and no identification is required. We ask that you please wear a face covering and remain in your vehicle. Please drive slow and follow the directions of the staff and volunteers upon arrival. We want to thank all the supporting organizations for your help in making sure no family or individual goes hungry. For more information or to volunteer, please contact the Sports Hub at 630-260-6060. With the spring season right around the corner, the Village of Glendale Heights would like to remind residents that many projects in and around the house may require a permit. Common projects needing a permit includes work on a deck, a shed, a patio, re-siding of your house, and re-roofing. We would also like to remind you to not pay your contractor until they contact the community development to ensure all work is up to code. If you are not sure if your project requires a permit or you need to apply for one, please contact the Community Development Department at 630-260-6030. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. Trustee Pojek.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
The next coffee with the mayor and the village board will be this Saturday, March 6th at the Center for Senior Citizens from 10 a.m. to noon. If you are unable to attend and have any comments, suggestions, or questions for the mayor or village board, please call the mayor's office anytime at 630-909-5303. Thank you.
Thank you, Chester. On behalf of the entire village board, I would like to thank our snow removal teams who worked tirelessly around the clock to ensure our roads were clear after heavy snowfall and cold temperatures in February. We heard nothing but positive messages regarding how quickly our roads returned back to normal. I also want to acknowledge the many residents throughout the community who lent a hand to their neighbors by helping snow blow and shovel their driveways, and also clear off their sidewalks so our children can walk to and from school. I also want to acknowledge the Berquist family who helped spread a little hope and happiness to the community by painting flowers on the snow around their house. She became quite the internet sensation as she was deemed the graffiti grandma. It is through these efforts from our community that helps us through difficult times to put a little smile on our faces, which can make the world of difference. Thank you, everyone, for coming together as a community and for lifting one another up. Also, the village board and I are aware of and have experienced the same inconsistencies with recent mail delivery as many residents have. We understand that the services provided by the United States Postal Service, USPS, are valued by all members of our community. We depend on the USPS for delivery of essential items including checks, bills, and online purchases. I, along with other neighboring mayors, are requesting that United States Postal Service provide information about their services, letting the public know what to expect in the coming weeks, and to quickly improve how they service our residents. As the village receives information from the USPS, we will be sure to keep the community informed. Okay, we have one proclamation, and that is a proclamation to proclaim the month of March as Poison Prevention Month. If there are no objections, I will sign the proclamation.
Please do.
No objections.
Thank you. And now we have our special presentation of the state of the village. So everybody please watch and enjoy. It is my pleasure to present the State of the Village report for 2020. I would like to begin by recognizing my fellow village board members. Marie Schmidt, village clerk, Sharon Sullivan, deputy mayor and District 2 trustee, Bill Schmidt, District 1 trustee, Michael Light, District 3 trustee, Pat Meritato, District 4 trustee, Chester Pojak, District 5 trustee, and Mary Schroeder, District 6 trustee. As we look back at 2020, we will remember the many challenges that faced the village of Glendale Heights. It was a year that taught us many lessons as we faced a global pandemic that tested the village of Glendale Heights, our state, our nation, and the entire planet. However, I do believe it was a year of growth, togetherness, and perseverance like we have never seen before. It made me proud of our community as we stood true to being a proud and progressive village for all people. The Finance Department is charged with these primary responsibilities: maintaining the financial records of the village, providing for the safeguarding of assets, billing of water and sewer services, and management of the village's purchasing functions. An examination of the fiscal year 2020 audit information compared to 2019 reveals that the value of total village assets increased to $177 million from $169 million. Total revenues grew from $52 million in fiscal year 2019 to $54 million in fiscal year 2020, despite the onset of the coronavirus pandemic, which began negatively affecting village finances in March of 2020. Additionally, for the fiscal year 2020, the village's general fund finished the year with a fund balance level of $11.1 million, which exceeds both the level recommended by the Government Finance Officers Association, GFOA, and the amount established by village policy. Regarding water billing and consumption statistics, the village billed 751.5 million gallons of water in fiscal year 2020. This represented a decline from the previous year's billing of 760.2 million gallons. Each year, around 106,000 individual water bills are issued from this division. One major achievement involving the water billing division was the replacement of approximately 8,900 water meters and meter reading devices throughout the entire village. These new water meters are not only replacing 20-year-old devices, but also provide operational efficiencies for reading the meters with a few mouse clicks rather than having employees traverse the village in vehicles. The purchasing division processed a total of 58 bids in fiscal year 2020. The bid process ensures the village is paying the most competitive price from the most responsible bidders for commodities, leases, rentals, and construction projects. Annual budget preparation for fiscal year 2020 through 2021 began prior to the onset of the pandemic. By the time the final appropriation ordinance was passed, there was enormous uncertainty due to the stay-at-home orders issued by Governor Pritzker. Financial experts suggested that the economy was entering a deep recession, which was unprecedented in its sudden onset, and forecasts were mixed as to the duration of the downturn. Village staff immediately began implementing cost control measures to ensure the village would be able to operate during the projected economic downturn without severely impacting reserves. These measures included hiring freezes, project cutbacks, and purchasing delays. As the virus continues with the threats of new variants, a slow vaccine rollout, and continued economic pressures on our small businesses, the village will continue to proceed cautiously with forecasting revenues and, as always, continue to closely monitor expenses. Several potential significant events could take place in the upcoming year that will put pressures on the financial resources of the village. Among these are income tax, local government distributive funds reductions from the state, sales tax holdback from the state, potential ramifications of not increasing the tax levy for 4 years, lack of additional federal coronavirus stimulus, additional stay-at-home restrictions, increases in medical insurance premiums, and union negotiations with all 5 bargaining units in the village. The village depends on major revenues such as sales and home rule sales tax to support the level of services expected by residents and businesses within the village. Sales tax alone makes up 31% of the village's total general fund revenue budget. Thanks to the tireless and continued efforts to encourage economic development and a diverse mixture of sales tax generating businesses such as automobile dealerships, grocery stores, big box home improvement stores, and a large medical equipment supplier, sales tax revenues have grown by nearly 25% since fiscal year 2015. For the 4th straight year, the village did not seek an increase in the property tax levy, keeping a promise from the village board to protect the public's pocketbook. Overall, the village's share of property taxes amounts to less than 11% of a homeowner's total property tax burden and 14.8% of the village's total annual budget. On June 5, 2020, the village was recognized by the GFOA with the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award for its fiscal year 2019 through 2020 budget document. This marks the 7th consecutive year in which the village has received this recognition. The award signifies a commitment by the village for its budget document to meet program criteria and excel as a policy document, financial plan, operations guide, and communication tool. It also shows the village's commitment to transparency in how it utilizes taxpayer funds. On April 27, 2020, the GFOA awarded the village with the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting for its 2019 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, CAFR. This is the 37th consecutive year in which the village has received this award. The Certificate of Achievement is the highest form of recognition in the area of governmental accounting and financial reporting. Both the budget and CAFR documents can be found on the village's website. The GFOA has established a code of ethics, and as finance officials, our finance department commit to these core values: integrity and honesty, producing results for our community, treating people fairly, diversity and inclusion, and reliability and consistency. Our police department employs a combined staff of 93 personnel, including 55 sworn police officers, 5 part-time officers, 4 community service officers, records clerks, crossing guards, a community outreach specialist, and an evidence officer. The department also employs a strong volunteer pool of 18 individuals who are members of the Emergency Services and Disaster Agency, ESDA. I am very proud the village's police department continues to maintain the Commission on Accreditation of Law Enforcement Agencies, CALEA, accreditation. In 2020, the police department earned 100% compliance with all CALEA standards. Only a small percentage of all police departments across the country have earned this recognition. The police department earned their first accreditation in 2008 and was most recently reaccredited for the third time in 2017. We will be seeking our fourth accreditation in 2021. Our police department is one of fewer than 750 law enforcement agencies throughout the country that has earned CALEA accreditation status. CALEA standards are rigorous and ensure the department is following best practices in law enforcement. Part of the CALEA standards require the police department to review each incident in which force is used, ensuring that our officers are using the appropriate response for the situation and within legal parameters. CALEA standards also ensure that citizen complaints are investigated thoroughly and in a timely manner. The police department is dedicated to its mission in working with the community to continue building relationships and trust. In 2020, the police department helped organize and participate in many events for all ages to continue to build relationships throughout the community. For over 25 years, the police department has held week-long classes at Safety Town for children 5 to 7 years of age. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic and the guidance provided by the Illinois Department of Public Health, the department was unable to host this class in 2020. However, as new guidance and safety protocols became available, the police department was able to host the 13th Annual Junior Police Academy for children in grades 5 through 8. The police department limited the academy to 15 participants, and each participant agreed to maintain personal protective measures. The participants experienced various aspects of police work, from the initial testing process to evidence processing, traffic stops, and officer safety skills. This year was a unique year for our school resource officers and community events. The Glendale Heights Police Department is proud to have the ability to allocate one school resource officer to school districts 15, 16, and 87, where the majority of our students from Glendale Heights attend. The police department is committed to school safety and maintaining strong relationships with our students. The COVID-19 pandemic has presented numerous challenges for our school resource officers. However, they continued their duties and worked with their respective school districts, working within the hybrid learning environment. Our school resource officers worked with the districts to continue teaching a virtual drug abuse resistance education, DARE, program, and concluded the program with a graduation conducted via Zoom. School resource officers also worked in partnership with the school districts to ensure the school food drives continued smoothly and to make sure each family was provided their daily and weekly meals. The school resource officers also conducted birthday drive-by events for school-aged children, trying to bring some normalcy to an abnormal school year. The Glendale Heights Police Department school resource officers are eagerly awaiting the start of in-person learning so they can continue their positive relationships with the students. The police department also strives to keep our residents informed of the important crime prevention tips by sponsoring monthly neighborhood watch meetings and newsletters. In 2020, the police department was limited to hosting only a few neighborhood watch meetings because of the COVID-19 pandemic. But we look forward to returning to a semi-normal schedule sometime in 2021. The police department continued to provide training to local businesses and places of worship on active violence awareness. This training provides employees and citizens options if a violent event occurs within their vicinity. The police department again raised several $1,000s for the Illinois Special Olympics. Several officers sought donations and participated in the Polar Plunge and a no-shave initiative during the winter months to help raise funds for the Illinois Special Olympics. The police department hosted the 22nd Annual National Night Out on October 6th as all COVID-19 protocols were followed. The event was held on the Village of Glendale Heights Civic Center campus, and residents were offered free food and games. National Night Out is held to raise crime and drug prevention awareness and strengthen our police and community partnerships. We want to thank the many other community groups who helped make this event a huge success. The Police Department and its Emergency Services and Disaster Agency, ESDA, conducted intruder drills with all schools in the village. The village also renewed an agreement with Milton Township Community Emergency Response Team, CERT, to help train new CERT members and provide ongoing training for current members. Joining forces with Milton Township CERT allows the village to tap into their extensive volunteer pool of over 1,000 CERT members in the event of an emergency. The Glendale Heights Police Department maintains transparency by sharing crime statistics with residents. In March of each year, the police department publishes an annual report. This report provides residents with a detailed breakdown of the previous year's crime statistics. The report is available for viewing on the police department's page of the village website. The Community Development Department is charged with protecting property values by ensuring compliance with building codes and property maintenance codes. The department is also responsible for encouraging economic development within the village. In 2020, the Community Development Department continued to provide the same high level of service during the COVID-19 pandemic as it has done in the past, and initiated new programs to enhance customer service while prioritizing safety. In order to assist the public in their efforts to perform construction, operate their businesses, sell their homes, and maintain their properties, the Community Development Department established a system to accept applications and payments online. A drop box was also provided for the public to drop off information if they did not want to conduct business electronically. This allowed the public to continue to do business without needing to come into Village Hall. Along with the remainder of village staff, the Community Development Department staff continued to work through the pandemic and did not close. Staff continued to conduct inspections, perform office duties, and conduct meetings in person when possible or remotely if required. Economic development continues to be a priority for the Village of Glendale Heights. Supporting our businesses and encouraging new development helps bring and keep jobs in the village, lowers the tax burden on all residents, and gives residents more options to shop and eat locally. While we continued to encourage new development and help new businesses open, the village also assisted our existing businesses in their efforts to remain open through the pandemic. Village staff worked with our existing restaurants and bars to design and create outdoor dining options, provide protective barriers, provide safety information, and answer questions as they worked to maintain their businesses. The Community Development Department worked with several developers and businesses in 2020 to open new businesses and construct new developments. The Plan Commission conducted public hearings in person or whenever necessary, remotely, to ensure that development proposals were still able to move forward. The public had an opportunity to review proposals and participate either in person or online. The village board and I then made a final determination on each proposal. 3 new industrial businesses, including Backyard Storage Solutions, Western Specialty Contractors, and Nexius Solutions, were approved and opened, and a swim school was approved but is not yet opened. Despite the COVID-19 pandemic, the village welcomed a number of new businesses in 2020. I want to thank the following businesses for opening their doors to the Glendale Heights community: Accounting, Insurance, and Tax Services, Armel African Hair Braiding, Augustine Hair Design, Backyard Storage Solutions, LLC, Beauty from Within Spa, LLC, Blossom Group, LLC, Climate Pros, Incorporated, Coda Resources, Express Medical Testing, F.I. Reinschreiber and Associates, Ltd., G.H. Pizzas, Incorporated, Glenbard Northern Community Transition Site, GTC Logistics and Sinlac Properties, LLC, Haynes Companies, Incorporated, HDP Investments, Incorporated, IVM Chemicals, Incorporated, Karachi Dhaba, Kihi Distributors, LLC, Metro by T-Mobile, Moo Depot Mobile, Nexius Solutions, Pat's Hair Studio, Popeye's Chicken, Premier Packaging, LLC, Priority Wrecker Service, Incorporated, Rhino Distribution, Sys Electrical Low Voltage Solutions, Incorporated, and Western Specialty Contractors. Over the past several years, the village has worked to address an area along Army Trail Road that includes significant outdoor truck storage on unpaved surfaces and other uses that have negatively impacted the surrounding neighborhood. The village fought a number of court battles and had many meetings with neighbors to keep them up to date on the efforts. In late 2020, the village received a proposal to redevelop the area, and the Plan Commission considered the redevelopment of this 20-acre area on the south side of Army Trail Road at Calvary Drive. The proposed project would allow for the development of 2 multi-tenant business park buildings. The village board and I will consider the proposal in early 2021. Significant activity also continued to occur along North Avenue. Coda Resources obtained occupancy of the entire 180,000 square foot industrial building at 990 East North Avenue, bringing over 125 jobs to the community. ML Realty completed construction of a 116,000 square foot flex space building at 760 East North Avenue and began to market the building. Venture One also completed the construction of a 150,000 square foot building at 1 East North Avenue and is also marketing the building. In addition to promoting economic development activity, the Community Development Department also monitors existing property in the village to help protect and improve property values as well as the safety of its residents. Staff identifies property maintenance violations, licenses and inspects rental property, conducts real estate transfer inspections, responds to resident complaints, acts as a liaison to the Plan Commission and Property Enhancement Committee, processes business licenses, video gaming licenses, and entertainment permits, ensures compliance with the stormwater management requirements, and conducts a variety of other duties. The Community Development Department reviews and issues new business applications and coordinates the reviews with the fire districts, police department, and public works department. In 2020, the Community Development Department also processed business license renewals for the 522 businesses within the village. In 2020, the Community Development Department received 3,044 building permit applications for industrial, commercial, and residential construction, down slightly from the 3,091 that were received in 2019 in spite of the pandemic. Staff reviewed the permit applications and conducted inspections to verify that work performed complies with the National Building Code standards and ensures safe structures. The department also issued 41 permits to utility companies to conduct work in the public right-of-way. The village issued licenses to 1,480 single-family home rental properties and 3,757 multifamily units in 2020. Staff works with the property owners and tenants to ensure that the rental units are properly maintained through the licensing and inspection process, as well as the Crime Prevention Partnership Program. Through this program, the village provides property owners and tenants information about their rights and obligations to comply with the law. This program is important to deter crime and help protect property values in the community. Community Development Department staff also works with the residents, developers, and contractors to provide information and assist with zoning, building, and flooding questions. The department responded to approximately 414 Freedom of Information Act requests in 2020. It also provided zoning verification letters and floodplain information to property owners upon request. Staff assists residents with flooding problems and minimizing floodplain insurance requirements. Staff responds to service requests from residents, identifies property that is not properly maintained, and contacts owners to request that violations be addressed. Although the majority of property owners address violations, if not addressed, staff issues citations to require that property be properly maintained. Staff also works with management companies and homeowner associations to ensure that common areas and buildings are properly maintained. In 2020, local road infrastructure was improved throughout the village as part of the in-house road program overlaying Roland Drive, Chaucer Lane, and Bloomingdale Court. The program involved the removal and replacement of deteriorated and structurally damaged curbs and sidewalks, along with base repairs to the roadway before the new asphalt surface layer was applied. The in-house road program undertook the repaving of over 4,160 square yards of surface roadway and the replacement of 300 linear feet of curb and 2,800 square feet of sidewalk. The sidewalk removal and replacement project was undertaken on 3 streets in the village. The purpose of the project was to replace structurally damaged and hazardous sidewalks. Another aspect of the project was to preserve the mature parkway trees, which involved elevating the replaced sidewalks over the root system of the trees to prevent heaving of the replacement sidewalks, rather than removing the tree itself. Golf course cart path improvements were undertaken at Glendale Lakes Golf Course, which included a new storm sewer system installation to convey water away from the cart path. Crews installed 2 structures and 150 feet of pipe. Additionally, the crew replaced a portion of the cart path that was necessary to correct drainage issues. The Streets Division staff responded to 14 snow and ice events throughout 2020's winter season, plowing and de-icing 76 center lane miles of roadway and 147 courts. The Streets Division also responded to 38 separate flood control events, including clearing of storm inlets and streams to alleviate standing water on roadways. Additionally, the division responded to 314 work orders throughout the year and completed over 2,900 Julie locates for buried utility services. The Engineering Division ensures the village upholds all local, state, and federal mandates, including stormwater management compliance and erosion control inspections on active construction sites. In 2020, the division reviewed over 200 permit applications, including engineering drawings and stormwater reports. The division provided contract supervision and construction observation for large road projects. One such project was the 2020 MFT road program that included the reconstruction of 3 major arterial streets at a total cost of approximately $2 million. This project involved road reconstruction with curb and sidewalk repair, as well as drainage improvements. Another important road project was the $876,000 Gregory Avenue reconstruction. This project reconstructed Gregory Avenue from the intersection of Gregory Avenue and Somerset Drive to the intersection of Gregory Avenue and North Brandon Drive. This construction also included storm sewer improvements and curb and sidewalk improvements. This road project was paid for in part by a $339,000 Community Development Block Grant, CDBG, administered by DuPage County. The village also undertook the $445,000 repair of the large box culvert located underneath Armitage Avenue, east of Glen Ellen Road. Parts of the concrete floor mat were failing due to the high-velocity rushing water in storm events. Additionally, rocks and large boulders propelled by the flowing water were in the culvert and needed to be removed. The village contractor replaced the failing floor of this major stormwater channel with concrete, removed the debris, and performed spot repairs on the culvert where needed. This project ensures the box culvert's longevity and that it is available for use in large storm events. In the spring, the village undertook a $170,000 project to reline the storm sewer culverts underneath Ardmore Avenue near Lincoln Avenue. The existing culverts were failing corrugated metal pipes, rusting in places with large holes in the pipe wall and bottom. An inflatable bladder was inserted into the culverts to line them with a tough and durable resin to the shape of the original culverts. This made the culverts long-lasting and stronger without the disruption and expense of excavating and removing the existing pipes. Silt buildup was removed from the pipe outlet area for better flow, and erosion control in the stream was restored. The village also completed the heavy construction phase of the $875,000 East Branch Tributary 2 channel maintenance project. The village's contractor dredged a section of the creek that was causing drainage problems in the creek. The improvements included stream bank stabilization, dredging, vegetation management of invasive species, and the planting of new trees and shrubs. The project is now in the phase of planting and managing native species, which will continue for the next 5 years. The village will receive $400,000 in CDBG grant money reimbursement for this project. The village's water pollution control facility, WPCF, processed over 1.2 billion gallons of wastewater this year within Illinois Environmental Protection Agency, IEPA, guidelines and regulations. The WPCF, considered an exemplary plant by peer review publications, has continually operated well above the expected guidelines. The facility was successful in passing the annual discharge monitoring report quality assurance testing, DMRQA, as required by the IEPA. This testing ensures village laboratory procedures and methods meet or exceed the standards set forth by the IEPA. The Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, requires that a certified operator oversees every wastewater plant. There are 4 levels of certification in Illinois. The village's plant requires the highest level of certification, being a Class 1. The village has successfully trained its staff, and there are currently 2 Class 1 operators on site, as well as 1 Class 4 operator. An IEPA inspection was undertaken in 2020, and the results of this inspection are anticipated in 2021. Past inspections have resulted in favorable comments from the IEPA for the village and its staff for operating and maintaining a water pollution control facility that has consistently exceeded IEPA expectations. The WPCF, along with the Concentric Integration LLC, undertook improvements to the Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition System, SCADA. This included improvements and upgrades to the hardware and software for the influent screening system. The WPCF entered into an agreement with Trotter and Associates Incorporated for engineering services to rehabilitate both of the village's aerobic digesters. The digesters are a vital part of the operation at the WPCF and must be upgraded to accommodate upcoming phosphorus removal mandates set by the EPA. This project is anticipated to start in mid-2021 and has been modified from the original scope to include the rehabilitation of only one digester at this time. Future capital improvement projects will address the rehabilitation of the second digester. Through its membership in the DuPage River Salt Creek Work Group, DRSCW, the village is contributing to improving local streamwater quality while saving wastewater utility payers money. Under an innovative partnership, the village is working with 17 other communities to fund a series of waterway improvement projects throughout DuPage County, which continues to prolong anticipated regulations from the IEPA regarding stricter effluent limitations. The Fleets Division has made changes to its heavy truck purchases over the last few years. The division is now purchasing Peterbilt trucks with stainless steel salt spreaders and dump bodies. The division will continue to service and repair over 350 vehicles and pieces of equipment serving various village departments. In-house repairs and maintenance allows for a quick turnaround and lower costs made possible by our 3 highly trained mechanics. Utilities Division staff continued to perform maintenance to the public water infrastructure system by responding to 17 water main breaks, 8 fire hydrant replacements or repairs, 10 private water service repairs, 5 mainline valve repairs, and pump station maintenance. Well house maintenance included a new well pump motor with controls. Illinois Environmental Protection Agency, IEPA, mandated sampling was undertaken. I am pleased to report that all IEPA sampling completed in 2020 resulted in no violations or water quality issues. In-house projects and maintenance to the water system continued with the flushing of 622 fire hydrants and painting of 280 fire hydrants. Water Services Incorporated undertook a water leak detection survey. The survey resulted in identifying 7 leaks, 5 of which were identified as fire hydrant leaks, and the remaining 2 leaks were water main valve issues. Utilities Division staff repaired all leaks found within the system. Preventative maintenance to the village's sanitary sewer collection system also continued. Jetting of approximately 49 of the 72 miles of public sewer mains was achieved. In addition, annual root cutting and degreasing programs were undertaken. Rehabilitation and retrofit of the Payson Circle lift station began in late October, with total site completion to be expected in the spring of 2021. With the addition of smart run pumps and controls, the lift station will run at a more efficient level and provide the village with energy savings. Glendale Lakes Golf Club generated just under 29,000 rounds of golf for the 2020 calendar year. This was a significant increase in rounds from last year, even though there were several golf restrictions in place due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The golf season started in early March, and the golf course was open for 2 weeks before the COVID-19 pandemic hit. The golf course was required to be closed on March 21st, as it was considered part of the stay-at-home order issued by the state of Illinois. Golf courses were finally allowed to reopen in May, but were only allowing twosomes. Tee times had to be every 15 minutes, and everyone had to take their own golf cart if they were riding. This caused a high demand for golf, as this was one of the only outdoor activities that was allowed. Since the tee times were spaced out and allowed for only 2 golfers every 15 minutes, Glendale Lakes sold out of tee times almost every day. Near the end of May, the restrictions loosened, allowing foursomes to play together. However, they still had to ride in a separate cart, and the tee time interval had to be no less than 12 minutes. The demand for golf continued to be huge as other outdoor activities were being canceled. This demand continued for the rest of the year, giving the golf course a great year of rounds of golf. Some of the Glendale Lakes annual events had to be canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. These events were the Spring Fling Golf Outing, the Charity Golf Classic Golf Outing, Easter and Mother's Day brunches, and the final fish fry dinner. Golf outings of more than 50 people were also not allowed under the restrictions. Many of the usual golf outings had to be canceled. However, some of them have already secured their date for 2021, and we are hopeful they will be able to take place. Glendale Lakes continued to be the home golf course to 5 area golf teams. The teams that use Glendale Lakes as their home course are Glenbard North Boys and Girls, Glenbard East Boys and Girls, and Glenbard West Girls. The Illinois High School Association, IHSA, decided late in the summer that golf was going to be one of the few sports allowed. Due to the lack of other fall sports, golf teams were much larger than normal. Banquets at Glendale Lakes Golf Club were greatly affected by the restrictions due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The restrictions were more stringent with food and beverage than the golf side of the business. As part of the restrictions, indoor gatherings were not allowed until June. Starting in June, the maximum number of guests indoors was 50 people. This restriction lasted until Friday, October 23rd, when even tighter restrictions mandated no indoor dining in DuPage County. Since October 23rd, Glendale Lakes has not been allowed to host any banquets. During the time Glendale Lakes was able to be open, they hosted 12 parties and 3 meetings while continuing to abide by the Illinois Department of Public Health's COVID-19 guidelines. These guidelines included table spacing of 6 feet, no more than 8 people at a table, and individually bagging condiments for each guest. Staff and guests were required to wear face coverings unless they were actively eating. Even though banquets were limited in 2020, I am very pleased to announce that Glendale Lakes Golf Club has been awarded the 2021 The Not Best of Weddings. Glendale Lakes has won this award 4 times now, and this year we were accepted into the Not Best of Weddings Hall of Fame. If you are interested in hosting your special event or wedding at Glendale Lakes Golf Club, please do not hesitate to reach out to any of our qualified banquet coordinators. The Glendale Heights Center for Senior Citizens was another facility greatly affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Many of our members were deemed high risk, and so on March 12, 2020, the Centers for Disease Control, the State of Illinois, the Illinois Department of Public Health, and the Illinois Department on Aging agreed that all senior facilities should close their doors to the public for the health and safety of our senior citizen community. It was a challenging time for our senior members. We would regularly check in on our members to see how they were doing, and many of our members just wanted someone to socialize with. As new guidelines became available, we were able to slowly open our doors to various programming and services, including reopening the Golden Shears Salon, various craft classes, coffee and conversation, and more. We also hosted several drive-through events where we were able to give gift bags and other treats to members as they drove by the center. Even this small interaction was beneficial to our members as it got them out of their homes and gave a little social interaction in a safe manner. We were also able to open our senior fitness center with limited capacity and regular cleaning, and finally offer other fitness classes. We suspended our senior bus transportation program, but we were able to offer individual rides in a village vehicle so that our senior members could still have transportation to important appointments. Volunteerism continued to be a crucial aspect of the center's operations and programming. In 2020, we still had 31 volunteers dedicate over 782 hours to the center. I am also proud to announce that one of our volunteers was recognized by the state of Illinois for her 2019 volunteerism at the Center for Senior Citizens. The Center for Senior Citizens celebrated their 10-year anniversary in August of 2020. Although we were not able to host a celebration like we had originally hoped, the Center for Senior Citizens created a video production and a publication with pictures from the past 10 years, remembering all of the wonderful events and programs we celebrated over the past decade. As the year progressed and positive COVID-19 rates increased, we sadly had to once again cancel many programs. Center staff will continue to do their best to engage with our senior citizen community and hopefully be able to once again offer high-quality programming. The Parks Division is responsible for maintaining over 254 acres of parkland and more than 20 sports fields and playgrounds. They are also responsible for approximately 6,000 park and parkway trees. The biggest project this year was completing the final design for the improvements to Camera Park. We are proud to announce that the village was awarded an OSLAT grant to assist in the funding of this project. Once completed, Camera Park will feature a new handicap-accessible playground, fitness stations, challenge course, splash pad, disc golf, and other amenities. This redevelopment will provide residents of all ages state-of-the-art recreational activities. The project is expected to be completed in 2021. The Facilities Division is responsible for the maintenance and upkeep of all village facilities. They have been instrumental in renovating current buildings and work diligently to provide the residents with clean and updated facilities. In 2020, roof replacements for Glendale Lakes Golf Club, the Historic House, and the Sports Hub Field House were completed, and several additional roofing projects are planned over the next few years. Throughout 2020, there were many challenges for the Facilities Division due to the COVID-19 pandemic. As recommended by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, filtration systems and filters were upgraded to allow for protection in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, HVAC, systems in public buildings. Custodial staff has been charged with cleaning high-touch areas multiple times throughout the day, as well as following all IDPH guidelines to do everything possible to prevent the spread of COVID-19. This year has been a challenging one for the Recreation Division due to the COVID-19 pandemic. In March, the Sports Hub had to close to the public, and all in-person programming came to a halt. To remain engaged with the community and with residents, online activities and classes were offered, including nightly bedtime stories and weekly cooking challenges. Once some of the restrictions were loosened, we were able to start in-person classes as well as softball and basketball leagues. We opened the fitness center and GH2O Aquatic Center with limited capacity. Staff spent countless hours creating plans for reopening with the goal to provide these services and keep patrons and staff safe. The opening of the pool was the highlight of 2020 as we continued to try to offer some of our regular services. We also offered swim lessons and an alternative swim team program. Working with the Department of Family and Children's Services, we were able to offer an essential day camp to those families in need. Children enjoyed socially distanced fun activities along with trips to GH2O to cool off. A haunted trail was held at Camera Park in October as part of Halloween, and a Day of the Dead celebration was held in November in conjunction with the Cleve Carney Museum of Art and Immigrant Solidarity of DuPage. December saw a tree lighting ceremony moved to Camera Park as it was turned into a drive-in event in order to practice proper social distancing. As Santa and I flipped the switch to illuminate our trees, we were met with a beautiful fireworks display. Breakfast with Santa became Breakfast from Santa as families signed up for a time to drive by the sports hub and see Mr. and Mrs. Claus while receiving breakfast and a gift bag from Santa's elves. Seeing the smiling faces as Santa and Mrs. Claus were seated just a few feet away was a great way to end the year. As 2021 continues, we have hope that we will be able to provide additional in-person events and programming. Until then, we will continue to offer safe recreational activities and events, either in person or virtually, as state regulations allow. I am so incredibly proud of the hard work our village board, village staff, volunteers, and the residents of Glendale Heights put forth in 2020 as we lifted each other up during the COVID-19 pandemic. Monthly food distributions at Camera Park, in conjunction with the Northern Illinois Food Bank, have served an average of 1,200 families at each of the 8 events we have held. We were able to provide free COVID testing and a flu shot clinic during this pandemic year. I was extremely proud of our partnership with the Meta Health Adventist Medical Center, Glen Oaks Hospital, to provide the medical mission at home, in which Glen Oaks doctors provided medical care at the sports hub for those residents with no medical insurance. As we look forward to 2021 and new beginnings, I want to say what an honor it has been to serve the residents of Glendale Heights, even during the most challenging days. Thank you for allowing me to serve you, the residents of Glendale Heights, for the past 20 years as village president. Please do not hesitate to contact me, your village trustee, or any of our qualified staff with any comments, questions, or concerns as we look to the future. I promise you that we will work hard to continue to make Glendale Heights a desirable place to live and raise a family. We will get through this pandemic together, and I look forward to a day in the near future when we can all once again get together and enjoy all that this great community has to offer. Be safe and stay healthy. I would like to thank our public relations staff for putting together such a nice thing. And thank all the department heads for everything they do and our employees all through the years so that we do have something to show the residents of what they're getting for their tax dollars and how much this community does care. Next, we go to public discussion of agenda items. Mike, have you received anything?
No, Mayor, nothing has come in on the email account.
Okay. And since there is no one here, we will move on to the consent agenda. Trustee Schmidt,
I move that we adopt the consent.
wait, before we do the consent agenda, we need to remove number 6. Now,
Okay. I move that we adopt the consent agenda as modified, as presented.
Second,
roll call vote, please.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
And Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
The consent agenda is approved. There is no old business. So we go on to new business. Number 1 is a motion to waive first reading on new business items 2 through 5. Trustee Pojek,
So moved.
Second,
roll call vote.
Trustee Sullivan?
yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
And Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
First reading has been waived on new business items 2 through 5. Number 2 is an ordinance extending temporary executive powers pursuant to 65 ILCS 5/11-1-6. First reading has been waived, so this would be ordinance number 2021-27. Trustee Sullivan,
So moved,
Second.
discussion. Roll call vote.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
And Trustee Sullivan?
yes.
Ordinance 2021-27 is approved. Number 3 is an ordinance to approve a conditional use to permit an outdoor accessory storage building at 215 East North Avenue in the village of Glendale Heights, Illinois. This is at McDonald's. This is from the February 18th Committee of the Whole meeting. First reading has been waived, so this would be ordinance number 2021-28. Trustee Schmidt,
So moved.
Second,
discussion. Roll call vote.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
yes.
And Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-28 is approved. Number 4 is an ordinance rejecting all proposals for merchant card services in the village of Glendale Heights, Illinois. First reading was waived, and this would be ordinance number 2021-29. Trustee Sullivan,
So moved,
Second.
Discussion. Roll call vote.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
And Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-29 is approved. Number 5, an ordinance to waive bid and accept the proposal of Lane Christensen Company for the repair of the pump for well number 11 at the Glendale Lakes Golf Course and authorize the execution of a contract by and between Lane Christensen Company and the Village of Glendale Heights, Illinois. First reading has been waived. This would be ordinance number 2021-30. Trustee Schmidt,
So moved.
Second.
discussion. Trustee Pojek,
Let's see, Jennifer here, or,
This would be directed towards Rachel. I'm sorry.
oh, Rachel?
Director
I thought it was
Kaplan.
Jennifer's. I just want to know, will this interfere with the golfers, and how long will this take?
Not at all. This is
No.
actually with the water supply.
Oh, water
This is our
supply.
backup water pumps.
Oh, okay, because it says repair of the pump, I was just curious.
It's an emergency well, Trustee Pojak,
Oh, she is
and
here.
it's one of the pumps in the emergency well.
That's not the one by, number 10, is it?
No, it's by the golf course. The well that's there. It serves the irrigation system too.
Okay, very good, okay, thank you.
Okay.
any further discussion? Roll call vote.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
And Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Ordinance number 2021-30 is approved. Number 6, an ordinance to approve and authorize the execution of a Fourth Amendment to the Services Agreement by and between Precedent Development Incorporated, DBA, Precedent Solutions, and the Village of Glendale Heights. That is first reading. And now we hit number 7, which is going to be a resolution authorizing the issuance of a notice of award and authorizing the execution of a contract for the Camera Park Improvements Project. And before we vote on resolution 2021 R-28, our Director of Parks and Recreation, Keith Knauts, will show you what is coming up with our camera park improvements.
Well, thank you, Mayor and Board. I also have Doug Fair on the Zoom part of the meeting here from Hitchcock Design. And it's been a few months since we've been before you to update you on Camera Park. The last time we were here, we presented you with plans that were about 95% complete, and we were in the process of finalizing the bid documents. I am happy to come before you today to present before you vote on the contract with Klaus Brothers to do demolition and construction work on Camera Park. So here is the project update. Tonight's agenda is that we are going to be covering 3 things. They are an updated plan overview, a products and equipment review, and a project schedule update. This picture, although be it small, is a representation of the core area for work to be done at Camera Park. In the current park plan, there are a number of amenities that have been included. They are an inclusive playground with resilient rubber surfacing, challenge course on synthetic turf, outdoor fitness equipment on synthetic turf, recirculating splash pad with safety surfacing, new restroom building with sheltered seating area and storage, a shade sail canopy at the end of the playground, educational areas with interpretive signage, a 9-hole disc golf course, and additional park lighting. Just to bring a reminder to some of the things we've already discussed, this is an overview of the proposed playground. This playground includes 35 play events to provide fully inclusive play environment for all ages and abilities, a combined 5 to 12-year-old school-age structure, a combined 2 to 5-year-old preschool structure, freestanding play components, swing set with bucket, tot, expression, and ADA, group swing, and a resilient rubber play surfacing to provide safe and accessible play. A challenge course located towards the front of Camera Park will include directional course route with 7 distinct obstacles, synthetic turf resilient surfacing for impact absorption, and an intergenerational challenge opportunities. We also have outdoor fitness equipment. This fitness includes multifunctional outdoor gym equipment that has 11 distinct exercise stations with varying levels of use for each station. It accommodates up to 14 users at once, and it also has a synthetic turf resilient surfacing. Our recirculating splash pad. This has 12 different spray events, 25 total in-ground jets, activated and timed recirculating system, filtered and treated water for safe, efficient reuse, and a life floor safety surfacing for impact absorption and to increase slip resistance. And to kind of give you an idea of what that life floor safety surfacing looks like, the picture doesn't give it a good representation, but this is kind of the design pattern that we currently have chosen. The restroom building with shelter. This will also house some additional storage and the controls for the splash pad. Additionally, the building will have a roof extension that will help to provide additional shade in the area near the splash pad. Shade sails will be added at the southernmost part of the playground to offer an additional shaded area for those watching people playing on the playground. Educational signage will be added to those areas near the wetlands. Subject matter will include monarch butterflies and wetland ecosystems. There will be a 9-hole disc golf course put in at Camera Park. So that kind of brings us to the updated schedule. Tonight before you is approval of a contract with Klaus Brothers, and if approval occurs on that contract, the following schedule will take place. We will continue with our permit resubmittals and approvals with the village, the Illinois Department of Public Health, and the DuPage County Stormwater Management. The village will also be purchasing equipment and amenities in March and April. There will be a groundbreaking sometime later this month. And then substantial completion of this project will finally come near October, with final acceptance expected in November. So it will be a summer of construction at Camera Park for this area, but we are looking forward to getting to that final acceptance in November. So that concludes my presentation, and I would be happy, or we would be happy, I don't get to see Doug in this setup, we would be happy to answer any questions.
Trustee Meritato.
Keith, during this pandemic, is there any hang up on, are we behind or are we on schedule for this or what?
So I would say that we're further behind than we initially anticipated we were going to be. I think that one of the things that we were doing is making sure that during the pandemic, we were being financially good stewards of our money. The purpose of getting things done at this time is that in July, at the end of July of 2020, the OSLAD grant, which is $400,000 that'll be spent towards this project, came through and was signed off on. So we have 2 years from that date to complete this project. So we need to have this project done by July of 2022. So the schedule that we've set up should offer us that ability to make sure that we're done well within the time constraints of that grant.
Okay, so the residents can still use Camera Park even under this construction?
They will be able to use the park, they just will not be able to use that core area It is anticipated, though, that the skate park will be open, the basketball courts will be open, the cricket pitch, the softball diamonds, everything else that's normally open will be available. The only thing that won't be available is basically from the shelter to the south.
Okay, and is
Trustee
it,
Pojek,
no, okay.
That's not done yet.
were you done? Oh, sorry.
Do we have a warranty on that motor for that splash pad?
We do. I'm gonna turn to Doug on that one, on the warranty of the splash pad.
Most splash pad manufacturers come with typically a 1-year warranty, but I can circle back with the actual the manufacturer for this system is a company called Vortex, and follow up with more specific information on that.
Okay, thank you.
Trustee Pojek.
Keith, will the total cost of this, will it include complete assembly of all equipment?
Yes,
I know at Nazo's Park, we had to help.
yeah, we did a community build for that specific park. The total project cost for this does include the actual putting in of the equipment and the demolition of the current equipment. So, and that's not everything. What you're approving tonight is just the construction company and the work that they're doing.
What Pat just mentioned about that little pad with the water circulating for a 1-year warranty. Now, what are you gonna do in the wintertime? You should just have it for one season and the second season, and that should do the warranty, because wintertime, you're not gonna use it.
Yeah, the system will be that's installed will have the ability to be winterized, and all of the features are in ground. So when the water's not running, it just functions as a concrete pad, or with the safety surfacing that is. But the system has been designed and will function to be fully winterized, to prevent damage over the winter months. But like I said, I'll need to get back with the vendor to confirm the warranty for this specific line of equipment.
All right, thank you.
Trustee Schmidt.
Okay, first slide, you mentioned a group swing. What do you mean by group swing?
In the diagram, I'm gonna let Doug kind of give a better explanation than I can in regards to what that means, but you can see it.
So while, let's see if I can locate it. So this is actually in the top middle of the main image, the top of the screen. The traditional swing set you see just to the left of that. That's what the traditional bucket seat and tot seat, and also an ADA accessible seat, and an expression swing is a swing where a parent and a young child can sit, and where the child faces the parent, so you can kind of see each other as they go back and forth. The group swing, the one that asked about here, is just a larger. You can have multiple kids on it at once. It's a larger swing that has 4 cables that support it. That you can swing back and forth. So that's the best way to describe it. The true name for it is it's called a Bolito swing, but this is it's a group swing that can be used by multiple people at once, multiple kids at once.
A traditional swing with like 4 seats on it.
It's one large canvas that can house 3 to 4 kids at once.
Okay. Secondly, the splash pad.
Yes.
Is there any need for any sort of supervision, or I don't think you'd need a lifeguard, but somebody there to watch over what's going on there?
The splash pad area itself is designated and has a separation fence and has an entrance to go to it. It does have requirements that we'll have to put up signage for that, but it does not have a lifeguard requirement as per se, as far as I am under the understanding.
Okay,
That's
and
correct.
is there any provisions for sanitation of the recycled water?
Yes, that's all governed through IDPH and the filtration and the recirculation of the system. And that's all mandated and governed by the IDPH as part of our permit submittal process.
I was gonna
Okay.
say, that's us going back for permitting.
Okay, so there's no chance of somebody coming back and saying, well, we contracted COVID through the circulation of the water.
I can't imagine that the IDPH is going to allow us to have anything that would allow for that.
Okay.
Keith, this is a chlorinated system, just like you would have at the
Correct.
pool, correct?
Yes.
All right,
One
thank
more,
you.
Keith. Are you done, Bill?
I'm done, thank you.
Is there any age restrictions on some of these rides, or do the parents have to be there? Would there be signs or something?
It's no different than the current playground structures that we have out there. Obviously, there are going to be some things that are made for children that are older and some that are younger, but I don't anticipate putting specific signage on individual items.
I was just curious. Okay, thanks, Keith.
Trustee Meritato.
Keith, I got one more question for Doug. I mean, I'm gonna circle back what Chester said about this warranty. I mean, we're only using it for maybe 5 months, 6 months out of the year. Then we shut it down, and then our year warranty is over and done with by springtime. I mean, is there any way we can get that a full? I mean, if it was warm year round, it's not a problem. But I mean, we're only gonna be using it maybe 5 months and then shut it down. And then what happens in spring when the warranty is over and something happens to it? I mean, we need it to be serviced.
Maybe
The 1 year warranty was just an example. I'll need to confirm. I'm fairly confident it's more than that, but I'll need to, like I said, get in touch with Vortex, the splash pad manufacturer, and I will provide that information to Keith, and he can recirculate that.
I'll
All
get
right,
that
thank you.
information to you.
Okay.
Maybe the
good.
warranty can be hours of operation rather
Could be a
than
number of different
calendar.
things.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
I think the plan's good, thank you very much. And that should take our residents far into the future with updated amenities in Camera Park. A motion would be in order for a resolution authorizing the issuance of a notice of award and authorizing the execution of a contract for the Camera Park Improvements Project. This would be Resolution 2021-R-28. Chester,
So moved.
Second,
discussion? Roll call vote.
Trustee Sullivan,
yes.
trustee Meritato,
Yes.
trustee Pojek,
Yes.
and trustee Schmidt.
Yes,
Resolution 2021-R-28 is approved. We're now back to public discussion of agenda items. Anything, Mike?
Nothing has come in via email, and also it doesn't appear that there's anyone on the Zoom call that is looking to participate either.
Thank you, and there's nobody here, so,
Mayor, hello,
yes.
sorry. We removed the Seabell contract from the consent agenda. Isn't
Yes.
that correct?
Yes.
Are we gonna take action on that, or is that just gonna be deferred to another meeting?
No,
Deferred.
that will be on another agenda. That's just.
Okay. Okay, I just wanted to clarify. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. A motion to adjourn would be in order.
You're doing.
Trustee Schmidt,
motion to adjourn.
Second,
roll call vote.
Trustee Meritato,
Yes.
trustee Pojek,
Yes.
trustee Schmidt,
Yes.
and trustee Sullivan.
yes.
This meeting is adjourned, and there is no committee of the whole meeting tonight. So see you on March 18th.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.